Hello, everyone. Rich Wildman here. Glad you're with us today. It's going to be a fairly cool show, not because it's almost winter, but because Halloween is over, and I'm pretty happy about that. Did anybody dress up as anything on Halloween out there in the audience? I did not dress up at all. I didn't figure I had to, first of all. It's kind of the way it is. I'm ugly enough without a costume. I don't need one. All right, I know that Ian dressed up. We'll find out what he dressed up as in a little bit when we talk to him, and we'll also find out whether Andrea dressed up as well. I'm not sure if she did, and find out whether our guest panelist did as well, and probably dressed up like something, one of the gross pictures he was showing before the show. I'm not, I'm not sure. Anyway, we've got 3 new songs to put in front of our panel today to find out what they think about them. We're going to do that. Certainly hope you enjoy them. And we'll find out whether our panel enjoys them as well. Let's go around and say hello to Mr. Ian Husbands. Hey, Ian, how are you?
Bonjour.
Everything going all right for you?
It's been a bit of a tough week, but I'm here, and I have alcohol. So, that's not...
You're good to go then.
Pretty much. So I'm just pouring. Bear with me, Cheers.
So Halloween,
Cheers.
Yeah, you were busy on Halloween. I'm pretty sure I heard that correctly. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Halloween itself I spent with the kids. We had a little Halloween party here, and then we took them out trick-or-treating. We watched some scary movies like Coralina and The Corpse Bride, which were both very good. Tim Burton-esque stuff. But Halloween, the Thursday before is our Halloween jam night, which we've done the past couple of years, where we all get dressed up and we have best costume competitions, and we always open up with songs like Monster and Highway to Hell and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that's a cool thing to do. Now, I was just looking in the chat room. Pinky says he dressed up like a convict in an electric chair. And Box of Crap says he dressed up like a long-haired, bearded musician type.
The scariest type.
Yeah, maybe one of the guys from the Grateful Dead.
You dressed up as me, basically.
Yeah, that's scary, all right. All right, so what'd you dress up again?
I was the dark Mad Hatter. So I had the sort of whole Mad Hatter costume with teacups on me, cravat and stuff like that.
Very cool. It wasn't a scary Mad Hatter. It was just a dark Mad Hatter.
Yeah, just a dark Mad Hatter. If you want to see some photos, go over to @FreakJamBand on Twitter, and I posted quite a few pictures up there of it. Go check it out.
All right, well, definitely do that. You have some information from last week's broadcast when Deborah Russell was with us on the show. We had Drifting Grove and Walking Ugly, along with Wiz J, Walking Ugly. The track Zombies, a Halloween appropriately titled track, was our song of the week. What do witness statements reflect on that?
Well, pretty much everyone agreed with us for best performance and best mix and production. Song 2, which was Zombies, got 100% of the votes. But there was a slight split over songwriting in a 50-50 kind of sense, with Song 1 taking half the votes for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's very surprising, but very cool anyway, yeah.
Nice to see people who've got different opinions to us sometimes.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we're always right, but they're allowed to differ.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, as Rick Brindle would say. All right, let's meet Miss Andrea Bensmiller from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello, Andrea. How are you doing?
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Doing all right. Let me ask you, Halloween, how'd it go for you? How was Halloween scary in Vegas?
I did not dress up and I did not go out. This is one of the first years I didn't do anything for Halloween.
Nothing at all?
No, it's been kind of crazy in my world. This was the only thing that I had as a prop for Halloween. When people see the video, they'll see I'm holding a champagne glass because I got married on Friday. So,
oh, well, congratulations.
My whole life was kind of based on, dealing with that. So
hang about. We'll all hang about. You can't just come on here and drop a bombshell like that.
Yeah.
Where's
Why you
Wednesday?
wanted me to be on the show?
Congratulations.
Was that, Tommy? Oh,
I
thank
said
you.
that's why they
Thank
wanted me to be on the show, to make it an official MSI team. Happy, congratulations, best of luck. Mazel tovs ×3.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a busy week, and then it was a busy Friday and Saturday. I still had to work all day, so when it became time to think about Halloween, it was like, I think we'll go home and order Thai food. That was as far as my plans got. So.
The honeymoon is going to take place. I mean, you can't go to Vegas for the honeymoon, right? So you got to go someplace exotic.
Well, that's what's funny. We are actually going to Vegas just to have a weekend away. We're probably gonna go to the Downtown Grand, which is a new hotel here that's kind of hip and sits right in the center of a lot of the downtown restaurant scene. So it's pretty hard for us to leave town because my parents, require daily attention. So we're going to go and hang out. And basically our honeymoon is going to be all about the food.
Oh, well,
so
you hook up with Tommy. Tommy will send you all the pictures of his food.
Well, not many people actually know what their food looks like before it's cooked. They order it prepared and it's all done. And I guarantee you, most people, when they see how their food is really prepared, they wouldn't eat it.
Are you telling me, Tommy, that all those pictures were of food before it was cooked?
Yes.
Oh, come on. Get out of here. All right, Andrea, congratulations on the wedding. Pinky is wondering were the flying Elvises at the wedding.
No, they could have been. But we opted not to go that route.
I don't blame you. Don't blame me a bit. All right, congratulations. I don't even know what to say other than congratulations. I'm very happy for you. I think that you deserve to be very happy.
Oh, thank you, Rich. That's sweet.
I would have liked the chance to have done something on the show. Just to sort of,
I could,
make it special.
I could have actually married you and your better half. I'm going to call him your better half because I haven't met him, so I don't know. But we could have married you right here live on the show. But yeah, it's too late now.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Well,
now that would have been special.
That would have been. We had so many choices about how, you have lots of choices about how to do this in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So we honed in on the least amount of work. That's really what it became for us. How do we just show up somewhere and pay the money and get it done? Because,
you could have done it here online, not had to pay a dime. Just withstood a bit of ridicule from the guys and gals in the chat room, and we'd all been fine.
That's true.
I think, right, and I'm serious about this now, right? Now, Rich is an ordained minister, aren't you? You are that preacher.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah. I think, I don't do the religion thing personally, but that's cool. I think we should, next time Andrea's on, her partner should join her, and Rich should do an MSI blessing.
I thought you were going to say next time Andrea gets married, hopefully it's only one time.
No, I wasn't going to go there. I'd put an MSI blessing, live on the show. I think that'd be fantastic.
Well, there you go. We can make that happen as well.
We can do that. We'll see. I'll ask and see how the idea goes over.
Yeah, there you go.
Just so we can say we were there for part of it.
Over the table into the trash.
You saw him earlier. You gotta love the guy. Tommy is back with us. Hey, Tommy, how the heck are you? How was your Halloween?
I was very busy preparing and cooking delectable delights because this year I did not make it to the New York AES Festival. And I am deeply saddened by that because, 2 years ago, I went and took all sorts of crazy videos and I went there with my son. And right up until
they kicked you out for running people over in that crazy chair you were in.
Yeah, that mini moped. I was playing bumper cars with people. You know, they probably had warnings. But we did a lot of great interviews, saw a lot of great products that I wound up waiting for a year to come out. And this year, the AES in New York has been gaining more and more momentum. At one time, was as big and as the NAMM shows are out in Vegas and California, and it seems that the sunny, morbid places that don't have enough water or reach 120 degrees has stolen all the big shows from New York now, because people like to go out in ultraviolet light and sweat.
Well, it's about having a good time. It's about having
but mostly in New York, you get beautiful fall weather
and beautiful muggings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Hate to tell you this, Tommy. It's really all about the strippers.
I could accommodate.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
Tommy,
I thought it was all about the bass.
I've seen a tassel until I've worn one.
No.
Let's put that picture out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Tommy is
one hand
let me mute him. Let me mute him. We don't want to see this. He's gonna go on talking, but he's all right. So, all right, Tommy. Now, I know that from the pictures I've seen out on Twitter and everywhere else that you've done some new work in the studio. What have you got going on? What have you done?
Well, I've been upgrading this studio for at least the last 4 years.
At least.
Ever since I've known you.
Yeah, well, it's undergone many changes, and each change is for the better. The biggest change was the huge chunk of money when I designed the soundproofing and floated the room and made it a real studio. And now the plan is coming to fruition by the beginning of January, hopefully the end of January. I will have the production suite for film scoring, for mixing, for mastering, just for full-out production using two really good boards, a digital one and an analog one, for terabytes of virtual synths and over a dozen analog and digital real synths, all hooked up, all standardized, linking up to 3 computers, so that I can run everything at once and all live. Instead of using pre-recorded synths, I can actually let them run in real time. It's called running virtual, which is where they got the idea of virtual synths from. So, there's the ability to go 200-300 tracks.
I guess my question has to be then, do you still have room in the studio for actual musicians?
That's the biggest thing. When everything is in place, where I am now will be all cleared out, and it'll be, let's see, this is about 12 feet wide, and from the wall behind me, it'll be like 12 by 8 performance space. Okay. Because all the gear gets racked, put on the walls, out of the way, and that clears up a ton of floor space.
No, that's going to be good.
Yeah, and I still won't be able to get a full rock band, but I will be able to get a full drum kit.
Yeah, you'll be able to move around a bit.
Yeah, I'll be able to get like a jazz trio, quartet, a string quartet, a small horn section, and get back in what I was really known for in New York as an
Right.
excellent recordist. As I
Absolutely.
called myself. Because, it takes, I mean, I got to record people like Tito Puente and so many amazing musicians. And I always, not to pat myself too hard on the back or, things break. I was always given compliments that, not that it was the best they ever heard, but they really liked what they heard.
Well, sure. You
And
wouldn't do it unless you were good at it.
this is true. I mean, I can actually mic a bassoon.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would hope that you can mic damn near anything by now, Tommy.
The weirdest thing
He's got enough mics.
Yeah, that's true.
is what?
You've got enough microphones.
Not for compared to a full recording studio, but yes, for this place, I have great microphones to get. It's Andrea, you're a singer. Sometimes it comes down to the microphone.
Absolutely. Totally does.
And I've got Alana, my partner in crime, my partner in all things. Is a great session vocalist, a great singer, and I am always looking for a microphone that, but there's the classics, the 414, the Neumanns, some of the Blue Bottles were good, some, oh God, some microphones, I can't even pronounce their names.
Well, I know you've got
European. There's a lot of European manufacturers, a lot of boutique microphones.
I think I've seen most of your microphones over the years because you used to pull out a new microphone for every show you did.
Yeah, well, every mic had a month-long lifespan, and then it was on to the next.
If that, yeah, exactly. All right.
And yes, you showed me in that little goodbye farewell video as the microphone sizes got bigger and smaller. It's hysterical.
It's true. It's true. And speaking of microphones, mine has decided to give up the ghost here. So hang on a minute.
Well, why don't we just go to music?
Oh, we can definitely do that, and I definitely want to do that, but I want to ask you one more question before we do. I want to find out what you got going on. I mean, you've done so much work on the studio. What is next? What do you got going on in the future here as we come into the holiday season and so forth?
Well, the new year is going to be more aggressive attitude and taking more clients and doing, and seeking out a broader path. And instead of just doing mixing and mastering, which is all I've been doing, plus digital cleanups, it's it's going to be full pre-post live recording and structure. And I did do sound for an independent feature animated film. I scored part of it, and I recorded dialogue for it, and I love doing that. And I'd really, with the amount of amazing library sounds and the live synths and the analog and digital, I'd really like to get into film scoring.
Well, good.
So, we're going to try to make inroads into as many different paths as I've taken, a swim in. And that's a lot. I've done film scoring. I've done Foley. I've done mixing just about every genre. I've done recording just about everything except an elephant.
Well, I'm glad you're not doing like Pinky's going to be doing. Pinky says he's going to be spending 2016 in a drunken stupor. So
Well, he's just
at least you
repeating
have.
his previous years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He won't be. He won't be able to afford it.
Oh well, there you go. There you go. It's going to cost a lot more. There is no doubt. And you're right, Tom. We do need to listen to some music because we have 3 new songs. So let's do that right now. Let's listen to track number 1 on the broadcast today. Here it is, everybody. This is track number 1 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Enjoy.
You're the drug that I've been waiting for. You're a virus I don't wanna cure. How come everything good feels wrong? You're the summer that I wanna end. You're the opposite of all my friends. How come everything we do feels wrong? Just feels wrong.
That is track number 1 on the broadcast today. Let's bring our panel in and find out what they thought about it. Over to Ian Husbands first. Ian, what do you think about track number 1 today?
All right, yeah. I like the principle of what we've got here. I mean, you've got some good performances, you've got some good recording, you've got a pretty good song. I think the song needs a bit of development, but you've got the good basis of a song there. But I think what this lacks is production. This sounds like a sort of demo that you've got quite a competent band who are quite well rehearsed, have gone into a studio, and they've just recorded as the parts they know, and then got a sort of mix from the engineer there and gone off and maybe use it as a demo or something like that. And for that purpose, I think it suits really, really well. But, I'd like to hear this developed more, and I'd like to hear someone come in. You've kind of got a sort of a Cure meets the sort of Killers-ish sort of sound going on in my mind. And I like that. It could be quite relevant, quite poppy, quite current. But, there was some synths in there, for example, which were doing nothing but sort of slight pads in the background, and they were sort of very washy and sat in the background. You had, I love the bass tone, actually. I have to just comment, that bass tone on this, it was really, really nice. More layering on the vocals, bringing that chorus in a bit more. Get the drummer, his performance was good, it was solid, but, more life to it if it wasn't programmed. If it was programmed, it was quite well done. But, just a bit more life to those drums, a bit more feel. You've got the real good, strong basics of a band and a song and performances going on here. But it needs taking to the next level, and it needs a producer. Bring those synths up, change it around, give them some riffs. There was a nice little riff on the guitar at the end of the track on the outro, which could have been lifted and sort of been used as more of a musical hook rather than being buried behind the vocals and stuff like that. Production. That is the key word for this track.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Ian. Thank you very much. As my phone decides to go out again, let's go over to Andrea and find out what she thought. Andrea? I'll fix it, I promise.
I love this song. I thought it was a great song. It's a great hook. I love that it's this kind of blend of, it has this 80s rock vibe, but it's not outdated. And it's really because it has that also, that Imagine Dragons, that Killers kind of feel behind it too. And I think it's a really great song. And if it's a band, it's a really, really solid start on a band. In terms of the actual sounds, let me just do that first. I thought that the sounds were well recorded. The bass, nice recorded sound when it came in. I was like, wow, that's nice. It's clear. It's round. The vocals came in. They were a little too distant. They could have been pulled forward in a tune where you have not a whole lot going on in the arrangement. It's a good idea to bring the vocalist forward, and then as things start to fill in the space, you can always pull them back a little bit. Drums sounded decent sounds, well played. Guitars, sounds and tones, nice tones. The solo, the little repetitive chord solo that came back twice, I thought was a really good idea. You've got a good vocalist and some really good parts, some great little keyboard parts, and a breakdown section that really worked too. Here's what was not working in the track, and that's the energy. I mean, just no real energy in this track. No excitement, no lift, no pop, no feeling like everybody's playing from their soul kind of thing. And, I know exactly how it is. The studio is that place. It completely destroys a lot of what you get out of live playing, and it can very easily take you into a place where you feel like you're just kind of buzzing along playing the song, and there's not much real energy about it. And this is the thing, in music, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you don't have energy, if you don't put the energy behind something, nobody's going to care about it. Nobody. So You have to have that. You can have a great performance, you can have a great song, you can have a great singer. But if everybody in that room doesn't lift that song and that performance into a space where the energy is just palpable, then you don't have it. You don't have what is going to break through and move people, you know? And that's true about everything you're going to do in music. It's true about talking to people and playing. And if you end up in teaching, it's going to be true about that. If you don't have excitement about it, you're done. So I would say go back in, get something that is exciting and has some real pop, because this is if this is a band, it's a good band and it's a good start and it's a great song. And you want to be able to really impress that on people.
All right. I appreciate it, Andrea. Thank you. And over to Tom Chianti. Tommy, your thoughts on track number 1?
I agree a lot with what Andrea said, as opposed to agreeing to anything Ian said. My biggest problem, I love the song. I like the style. I liked the sparse production, but the biggest problem with this production was in the mix. Everything is from the center over to the left. There's nothing but empty reverb on the right side. That not that it was left heavy. It's mixed, really good. So the balances are there, but everything is. There's a lot of interesting, like Andrea mentioned. There's a lot of interesting little things going on in here, and if they were spread out more evenly, and instead of having it like a seesaw with the heavy person on the left side and the light person, popping up in the air, it really needs more stereo. The productions that's there needs to be placed. The sounds are good, but the reverbs were overlapping each other a little too much. It reminds me of some early solo Sting stuff, maybe, but it's definitely what I call a Euro style mix, which is always a little bit reverb heavy for my taste. And they need to change up the reverb a little bit, do some automation, get some excitement from really having a wide track and things as the little production pieces come in and out. I always like to think that when you've got a lot of nice, interesting parts, they should be like bright sparks of light or spots of light that just come in and out, left, right, top, bottom. I mean, in the intro, I really liked the effect they got where they, really put the lead vocal answer or double or repeat, and it was set really back. It had depth. So this is really needs to get redone and spread the stereo evenly, and that will open up everybody in the studio for more ideas. It's a sparse, laid back, production-wise track, and it does need to lift, as Andrea said. It just stays pretty much on one level because it's like everybody's trying to climb up this Mount Everest from the left side to get over to the right. I love the singer's voice. I love the way it could use. Oh, I'm going to agree with Ian. It could use a little extra background vocals, and maybe that could create vocal pads or what I call vocal hits. Just little vocal stabs to move the track along. A little bit more percussion, something to move it keep the tempo the same. It needs to move. If it doesn't move, it sinks.
All right. And my microphone is. Oh, there it is.
I'm
It's
getting
back.
some interesting sounds from you.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? All
That
right.
wasn't his microphone, that was his backside.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Blame it on
a
the
lot of
dog.
people say I talk out of that anyway. All right. Song.
I wasn't going to go there.
I know it. I do it for you, so you don't have to. All right. See, there it goes again. All right. Song
Stop
number.
eating beans.
I know it's terrible. Song number 1, everybody, is called Ghosts, and it's by a group called Fantastic Planet, and we appreciate their sending that track in to Music Scene Investigation. All right, 2 more songs on the table, and I gotta let everybody know these songs are a little lengthy today, so let's keep it moving. All right, I'm gonna admonish you in public as opposed to private. All right, song number 2 is on the list. Here it is, everybody. This is track number 2. Certainly hope you enjoy it as well. Track number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation.
I take my time and make
That is track number 2 on the broadcast today. Let's go back to our panel. Starting things out this time around with Andrea. Andrea, what do you think about track number 2?
Wow. This is such an interesting track. It's like the first thought that I had. It started and it sounds interesting already when it started. I like the song a lot. I like the composition. It feels more like a composition than a song to me. But I like the feel of it. I like the drama in it. A lot of the sounds were just really, really great ideas for the arrangement. It had a lot of. It breathed a lot. There was, there's a lot of entrances and exits, and some crescendos and some interesting pads, and so there's a lot going on, and it doesn't feel like it's overwhelmed to me. The only negative thing I can say about it is there's a lot going on. The mix is overwhelmed by what's going on. It's very crowded. And it's hollow because of that. You have these moments where you feel like, I really want to attach to a sound, but it's so kind of wispy. It's not really there. It's ghost-like. And, though that may be something they were going for in the mix, it also leaves you feeling like a little, God, there's so much space here. I just want to be able to hear things in their own tiny little niche, and you don't really get that out of the mix. There's lots of ways to do. There's lots of ways to do this very thick, layered mix, and to try to do it well. And there's just so much work involved in really doing it well. And I understand how people get lost in it, because I've done it myself, and it's really overwhelming sometimes. But the hardest part is really trying to find a spot for everything that you've brought in. You want everything to support each other, and sometimes you want certain things to really stand out. And there's some tricks in mixing that you really need to employ to do that well. Some EQ notching. You really have to understand your spectrum, where you're going to put everything. You need to know your frequency range. It's a really good idea to map that out on paper. Who's sitting where? Because they're going to clash at some point. How are you going to fix that? How are you going to find a spot for everything that's overlapping? Other than that, I thought it was a great composition. It's really great. Great drama, nice music, great vocalist. Too far in the back for the vocalist. But the mix really needs some work.
All right. I thank you, Andrea. And now over to Tom and his thoughts. Tommy, track number 2.
Yeah. Again, I agree a lot with what Andrea is saying. It's really a great song. Nice mood. I think they were going for that big James Bond. It's like James Bond mashup with Tears for Fears. A lot of great parts and sounds going on. The production is really good. What this mix is, like Andrea says, people forget there's 360 degrees in a sphere for you to put a sound, front, back, left, right, all over. And what this track has done is trying to get more depth and size by washing everything in reverb. And yeah, that gives you an atmospheric mood, but you've got to tone it down. You have to create different reverbs with special spatial structures that will fit in between. As much as Andrea is saying about notching instruments that are in the same frequency range, it's also notching reverb returns or compressing them, or adding another reverb before the main reverb, or a delay and then a reverb after it. But the whole idea is to make it feel atmospheric, but not so obvious. And this is obvious with all those reverbs. You know, I love this song. This is the type of song I would love to mix. And if these guys get in touch with me, I'll mix it for free. And this would be a great mix. The biggest thing that was bothering me was the drum kit. Everything else is swimming, and then the drums in your face. It's got to be, you know, everything's got to mix and match. You're wearing a psychedelic tie with a plaid wool shirt and a white jacket with red velour cuffs or something. You know, it's all got to match, and this is just a mismatch, and it needs more. You can make it big by not raising the reverbs, changing them, automating them, bringing them in and out. And where are the backgrounds? This thing is really crying for vocal layering to go with those interesting pads, the reverse sounds, it's a full genre compendium. It's got a little rock, a little electronica, a little India mystique with all sorts of elements thrown together. And it's really interesting. And it keeps you interesting. And the second verse is lower than the first. I lost the vocal. The first verse had me. I was listening. Everything was fine. And then the second verse, the vocal dropped. And then I just started listening to the instruments and wondering why it was done this way. Because it is a basic, solid starter mix. Bring the reverb faders down 2 inches and the drums back like 5 dB, 3 dB, and see what it sounds like. It's got a balance frequency-wise and size-wise.
All right. I appreciate it, Tommy. Thank you. Now over to Ian. Ian, track number 2, sir.
All right, the guys have said quite a lot about this. I mean, I've not got a problem with the reverbs per se. I like the atmospheric feel. It's working for me. My problem with this is the drums and the bass. It's almost like they're in the studio and the drummer turned around to the rest of the band, went, "Don't worry, lads, I've got this." Disappeared in to mix the track. You know, otherwise, exceptional piece of work. I think I love the production. I love the sonic scope they've used. I love that sort of Led Zeppelin Kashmir sound that it's got to it, with a bit of Trent Reznor thrown in and a bit of melodies inspired by Chris Cornell. There's a lot of really good stuff going on here. Just that mix is well out of balance. The drums, I mean, I can understand you wanting the drums and the bass to drive this track, but they're too loud. They're dominating, especially that snare. It's snapping over the top of everything. Otherwise, you know, great composition, good hook, good chorus. Yeah, I mean, you know, you could go with more vocal layering on this if you wanted to. I mean, this is kind of open. I didn't mind the mix being so busy. Again, you know, what distracted me more than anything was those drums and the bass being quite loud. But otherwise, an exceptional piece of work.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ian. Track number 2, it's called Lunatics, and it's by a group called Rebellious Jukebox, and we appreciate their sending their track into Music Scene Investigation
Great
as
name.
well. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting name. I think they spelt Rebellious wrong, but they can spell it any way they want. It's their name, damn it.
And they're rebelling.
That's right. They're rebelling against spelling rebellious. Well, whatever. You got it.
Rebellion.
They're a spelling rebellion. Yeah, exactly. All right, one more track to take a listen to. We're going to do that right now. Here it is, everybody. This is track number 3 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Enjoy. We'll be back in a second.
This
That is track number 3 on the show today. We're going to bring our panel back in and find out what everybody thinks about it. Tommy, it's up to you. What do you think about track number 3?
We've got 3 great tracks going this week, and it's going to be a tough one. I like this one too, but it seems like these were all mixed during a reverb sale. I like the where it started, where it was going, and the aggressiveness. There's some really nice guitar and double bass drums going, and this has everything it should have, and a little reminiscent of Ozzy without too much chorusing or doubling or whatever. So it's all good things about it. It just, again, turn down the reverb so things, you can make things have size with just doubling, get a doubling plug-in and detune it, or harmonize, or just detune the vocal or the guitars. I would like to hear something interesting happening with the kick drum to make it stand out a little bit more from the genre. A different type of delay that would make, the standard on the kick just sound a little added extra tempo drive. It's not necessary. It's just a production thing too, because it is, very genre specific and it's done very well. I like everything except the amount of reverb, and then that vocal would come up. The guitars would stand out. I don't think they had any reverb on the guitars, but on the drums and the vocal, a little too much. And outside of that, it was a good track, good tune, well sung, well played.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tommy. Over to Ian. Ian, track number 3, sir.
All right. Okay. I think there's a lot of good stuff going on here. Again, you've got a competent band who can play their instruments. They've got some good ideas. For me, with this, there was no dynamic. All right, I understand the music is meant to be full on all the time, but you need a change up into that chorus. And the verses I thought were really, really good. Yeah, the vocals were set back, reverb session, as Tom was saying, but it didn't really change into the chorus. It just stayed on the same level. There was no pickup, there was no boost, there was no kick into that chorus. From any point of view, I would like to hear more of the shouty vocal that was going on, maybe sort of as a question and answer to the melody in that chorus to give it an edge. Change the guitars up a bit more power chords rather than riffs. Just change it up. The bass sound was non-existent. It was just rumbling along with the guitar riff in the bottom end there, and that to me, doesn't constitute a bass line. You want the bass to be doing something a little different and moving that track and grooving that track. Drum sound was all right, full on again. Everything was just full on. I think dynamics and arrangement on this need to pay attention. Guitar solo could have been better. I'm not going to go into too much, but go back and revisit that. Listen to the sound of music that you're playing. Make sure it's in tune. Make sure your bends are in tune, and just concentrate on getting some parts which maybe are a bit more hooky rather than just whittling all over it. Otherwise, you've got a competent band here, and I think with a bit of work and a bit more production and a bit more sort of a dynamic range going on, you've got the start of a good song.
All right. My mic, of course, goes bad now. It's
good.
It's all right, distortion on the track.
Tell us what you think about the song. Forget about Rich.
There you go.
Andrea?
I agree with the guys. They've echoed a lot of the things that I wrote. In particular, the thing about the bass sound, very muddy, not very distinct. I do really like the drummer, and I loved the double kick stuff. I thought it was really well executed, really tight. It's a little demo-esque for me, this track. I get that in the style, it's not about tons and tons of production, and you don't take a a regular trio metal band and throw in a bazillion different guitar parts and stuff like that. But it's a little sparse. It's a little, we hit record and this is what our band sounds like. And I think that, there's always somewhere you can go if you're trying to put out a record or really get noticed. A vocalist, I would say, you got to find your niche in this style. It's either going to be you're a little more screamo or you're a little more singer. And he's kind of in the middle. He's not an amazing singer, but, he's not exactly doing the incredible growly screamo thing either. So it's, I know it's a tough call where you want to land in this style, but I think you have to make a choice because sitting in the middle is sitting in the middle. But it's a good start, definitely. Decent band, just some details to work on and maybe find a producer really, really well versed in this style who can take you to the next level in terms of the production.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Andrea. And by the way, Tommy, thank you for handling that intro for Andrea as well.
Okay, go on. Keep going.
So next, ladies and gentlemen, we need to go over and the panel need to decide on the song of the week.
Not quite yet. Let me introduce track number 3 to everyone. Track number 3 is from The Curse Within, and it's called Suffocation. And we appreciate their sending that track in to us as well. Now, Ian, take it away.
And next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to decide who is the song of the week. So we're going to go over to our panel and we're going to discuss this. We probably won't. We'll probably just make our decisions and go with it. But we'll see how it goes. Over to you, panel.
Panel. Does anybody feel like going first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Ladies first. Married ladies, too.
This is really hard because these are really 3 good tracks. And honestly, it's, I think, if people tune in, they start to see. It's not often that we see 3 really solid tracks that don't have something really wrong with them. It's varying degrees of that. But I'm going to go with number 2, mostly because I really think that most of the fixes in terms of the sound quality and the mix are something that can be really, really easily done by a really great mix engineer who knows where to fit everything. But
thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, well, Tommy's going to do that for sure. So, he's exactly the kind of guy you want, though. So, I mean, you got to know the tricks if you're going to mix this stuff, So I'm going to go with number 2. No slight to 1 and 3. Just know it's a very close race this week.
All right. I appreciate that. And Tommy and Ian, what are your thoughts?
My esteemed colleague has already spoken, Andrea. She's already spoken, so I'm going to hand you over to Tom.
All right, Tommy.
Ooh, that backhand has my nose and cheek red. I am going to agree with Andrea. I mean, they are really 3 great tracks here. And, there's just piddling things here and there. It's just, it really, since the songs are all of the great, good hooks and interesting stylings, good vocalists, good bands playing, it really comes down to the presentation. And even though I had my problems with number 2, with the too much reverb, that's, like I said, that's the type of music I love to mix. And I wasn't kidding, but this has nothing to do with that. It's the easiest the production spot on. It just needs the right mix. Number 1, there's too much going on that really they need to figure out what they're going to allocate where and what's going to be dynamic. And number 3 is cool song. It's just safe and standard for the genre. So number 2.
All right, Tommy and Ian.
Well, I'm going to make it easy. I'm not going to rock the boat at all. As everyone's saying, we've got 3 really good tracks this week, and always impressed by the quality of music we find on this show. But every track this week I think has got mix/production problems, which can be resolved, which is really nice to sort of see. You're not facing up against bad songs or bad performances or anything like that. This is all fixable stuff. You can go out there and get done. But we talk about song of the week, and I think the best song this week certainly was number 2. It's certainly the one I enjoyed most, certainly one that I feel has had the most love and labour put into it to achieve where they're at. So number 2 for me, but please go and mix those drums and that bass down afterwards.
All right. Well, unanimous it is. Thank you very much to our panel. Track number 2 from Rebellious Jukebox, called Lunatics, is our song of the week. Tommy, thank you for joining us. And I know it was kind of late notice for you, but we really appreciate you taking time and sitting in on the panel.
And I would like
my
to say,
meatballs were just done cooking.
and I would like to say, Dave Bryce, who was meant to be sitting on the panel tonight, does send his apologies. He will be with us next week, but he had an emergency at work and he couldn't make it tonight. And big thanks to Tom for stepping in at the last minute.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you, Andrea, on your wedded bliss.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She's getting married in the morning.
No, she got married a few mornings ago.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody out in the chat room as well. We appreciate you joining us each and every Sunday. Now, a reminder, at the end of this month has 5 Sundays in it. We have 3 more Sundays where we'll be bringing you new music that will be reviewed by our panel. On the 5th Sunday of the month, something a little bit different. Actually, it's supposed to be a Flash Gordon play, which is read without any rehearsal whatsoever. It's going to be a first run read. We'll find out how that goes and whether or not I stick to it or not. So, want to make sure you tune in for that. You can join us live.
Flash!
You can join us live, of course, at MusicSceneInvestigation.com. You can also catch us on iTunes, YouTube, and wherever you find your finer podcasts. So thanks for being here. Let's play out with the guys and gals over at Rebellious Jukebox and their track Lunatics here on Music Scene Investigation. We'll talk to you again next time, everyone. Thanks for being here. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.